few years ago, I was asked to visit a relative in hospital. It was an older relative and she wasn't really so sick. We just went to visit to keep her company and as a nice thing to do. On a different occasion, some time before that, there was an individual in hospital who was extremely sick. He was already in hospice care and the doctors didn't give him a lot of hope. I went to visit him and it was quite a difficult thing to do. Unfortunately, that individual passed away. Now, if I look at these two deeds, obviously to myself and probably to others as well, it would appear that the second person who I visited who was critically ill was a much greater deed. And I think this is fair to say, since it was definitely harder to do and definitely he required it more than the other. This week's parasha we give half a shekel, no matter who you are. If you're wealthy, it's half a shekel, and if you're poor, it's no less. And I wanted to look at the reason. One of the reasons we bring down is that we are all the same, we're all equal. And the thing that makes us feel different to others or better than others is judging other people. Especially when we see other people doing something and we don't understand why they're doing it, or we think it to ourselves, why does he do that? I would never do that. We make ourselves above other people. We make ourselves special. And I want to explore one of the biggest things that people do in this area. And one of the biggest things that people do is we do not give people the benefit of the doubt. That means we see someone doing something wrong and automatically we say, hey, that person shouldn't be doing that, or that person is definitely weak in this area, or I hate that person because he did that, or that person is bothering me because he did that. And it's very interesting to see that in a case of somebody who's ill, the more ill they are, the better and more prestigious it's considered to go and help that person. However, in the case of being don kafsachus, the more you have to be don kafsachus, it reaches a certain cutoff point where you're like, oh, that person's so, I'll be don kafsachus everybody, but him, no, him, that would be an avera to be don kafsachus that person. And a couple of things I want to mention over here. Number one is, what is the reason human creativity was given? Human creativity, what is it for? You don't need to be creative for many things that you have to do in the Torah. And one of the reasons that's brought down is the reason that creativity was given is in order to be able to be don lekafsachus other people, to give other people the benefit of the doubt. Now, what is the reason that people do things that we think are bad? I think the reason is people are in pain and they are trying to alleviate that pain. And instead of trying to see the pain that other people are going through or thinking how the person is suffering something we may never know about, we straight away jump to the action and say, how dare that person say that to me? Or look at that person, he is not being careful in this area at all, and I'm always careful in that area. The interesting thing is that if we look at ourselves, and if I look at myself, I will straight away be able to see all the places that I'm in pain in, and all the many things that I'm doing to cover up my pain. And some of those things are not very good things. And some of those things, if somebody else was doing them, I would say, hey, how dare you do that thing? Or you are so fake or so unauthentic for doing that thing. And I think there's an incredible lesson in this week's parasha, which is from the Shkolim. Nobody is better or worse than you. And the silver lining of that is that even you, it's okay. You're okay. It's okay. Sometimes we do things to cover up our pain. Sometimes we're in pain, and sometimes we are creative in how we get around our pain. But use that same creativity that we use to cover up our pain and our shortcomings to give the benefit of the doubt to other people as well. Have a great Shabbos.